that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Ooh, that sugar. All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose. Give me that, give me that, give me that good reaction. Gonna make it right, little like an offer I can't refuse. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe, you're like a centerfold. Ooh, that sugar sweet.
Good morning. Morning, folks. Hope you are well. Morning, Leon. Morning, Stephen. Hope you all had a good weekend. Ready for another week in the markets, in a certainly a little bit of a tough market, that's for sure. But hope everybody's well. Hope everybody is well. Right. Morning, Ash, mate. Morning. I'll go through this, my closed trade in the Nasdaq. I think I took the executive decision again because of the situation I'm in with where I am in my drawdown right now, with how the chart looks. I just thought executive decision here. I could end up being mistaken here. Again, that doesn't follow my plan, but because again we're in the realities of a funded account, I was happy just taking it off. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. And cut that out. So I'm basically around, well, I'm at 159.4. So I've taken away all my drawdown buffer. So the extra buffer that I've had by keeping profit in, and I'm basically back to where I would be, minus $600 if I was taking the challenge to start. So what I think I'm going to do from a personal standpoint is I'll have one more trade on normal risk, and then if positive thinking, the next trade I take will be a winner. If it is a loser, then I'll probably have to reduce my risk by half and just get myself above the 160s. Once I'm above 160s, I feel a lot better about it, and kind of move on from there. But it just takes one. The next trade I take could be a 10% plus trade. You just never know. But I am not confident or not comfortable right now in this market, and I know I'm not alone in that. I mean, I know a few of you guys are struggling a little bit, and the good thing is, the interesting thing is, everybody here that's said they're struggling, or that they're, picking bits and pieces, and not a lot of follow through, not a lot of momentum in the markets. Even though we all have slightly different strategies, some completely different, we're all struggling. So it just again proves and perpetuates that fact that there is no such thing as a holy grail strategy. Everybody goes through peaks, everybody goes through troughs. Again, traders are made during these times, and I think every time you go through it, you get a little bit better at handling it. So me in last year, I feel, I went through a couple of months. This right now is into my second and a half month of not really getting a good trade, maybe a plus 2R, but I'm not as worried. I'm not as worried. I understand that if I lose another one, go down risk, I'm still confident that I can pick something up that pushes me and then gets me going up towards that 350k mark or that next scale. So yeah, I put my lights as green, manifesting a green trade the next time I take one, and pushing on. Now again, another good thing to think is if it was easy, where's the fun, right? When you go through these and then you get out of it, and for me personally, going to a next scale or doing whatever you guys are doing, whether it be FTMO, whether it be your own account, whatever, that feeling is a lot sweeter when you go through these times, right? So the bad times make the good times better. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that next big trade. And again, your work and your reward feels that much intrinsically better when you go through these periods and you get out of them. Happens to all of us, the best traders in the world. Even the best traders in the world. Just to clarify. I'm not saying we're the best traders in the world, but even the best traders in the world. Right, anyway, decent day on Friday. Bit of bullish sentiment coming in, as we can see from the S&P on this last daily cut candle on Friday. A lack of relative volume coming into it. However, I could actually add this to my list if we come down for a potential ABC here. So if we go A, B, C, I could look at potential aggressive entry. Again, I just don't like where it is. I'd rather have to see a lot more bias, a lot more confirmation of breaks above this area or down below here. Yes, okay, we had a decent day, but we've come down from some down days the last couple of days. So I don't really want to put a bias here. It does look a little bit better, like it potentially, if it continues doing what it does, or it gives us an ABC or potential a little bit of accumulation here. So if we get this, a catalyst in here with volume, if we push up and accumulate, yeah, I would probably say there's probably short-term perspective upward movement, but we need a little bit more. So I'd say slight risk on. Want to see a little bit more bullish sentiment come here into the market before I'm a bit more confident. So we'll wait for a key level break, which this wouldn't be bad. I consider this B wave. So coming back from this pullback, obviously I do like breaks of B, which would give me a little bit more confidence and a bit of a risk on nature in terms of looking at the Aussie Kiwi, potentially CAD, selling the yen, selling the Swiss. I mean, is that working right now? Probably not, but yeah, maybe something like this. I would be confident in a bit more risk sentiment. Maybe the best place would be to look at selling the dollar, right? So S&P fairly neutral. Looks short-term perspective because of what's happened Friday could look better long, but don't know. Sit myself firmly on the fence. I feel a bit more confident though in dollar shorts. As we've gone on and we've corrected over time, again, that 20 period catch up from this rejection here, we've got some movement to the downside. So a break under here would be great, but this still looks good down. So I feel more comfortable in my bias of dollar weakness. It may not come today. It may still take another couple of days before that 20 period really catches up. 4 hour looks okay. Potentially looking on this 4 hour for a reason to short it if it's pulling back right now. But dollar shorts I'm certainly more comfortable with, and it could indeed go. Possibly in this pullback on smaller time frames, but yeah, I think from a longer term perspective, I am more comfortable saying I think the dollar loses some strength this week, but let's see. Some traders are more profitable with more losses. Do you mean like a low win rate, high risk reward strategy, or do you mean like from a learning perspective? So i.e. learn from mistakes and move forward, Silver. In which case both. You're right in both ways. High RR. Yeah, correct, yeah. Low win rate, high risk reward strategy. Yeah, you're expecting to lose a little bit more. I'm not expecting to lose as much as I've lost, but we know those periods kind of have come. But yeah, with my new trade management, I should have roughly kept my win rate slightly reduced, but risk reward has basically doubled. So yeah, I just need one decent trade. Yeah, correct. Correct. All comes down to those, well, you can say the easiest things are win rate, payoff ratio, win rate and payoff ratio. You know, you can kind of figure out your edge from those two numbers, right? Frequency of trades, I guess you've got to put in that in terms of your risk parameters. If you're taking 2-3 trades a day, you're probably down at 0.5%, potentially 1, depending on your win rate. Yeah, it's all data, it's all statistics. You know, and statistics say that I get out of drawdowns every single time. So, got to be positive. Got to be positive. There's no point being all doom and gloom. Oh, the market's out to get me. It's blah blah blah. You know, pick yourself up in the morning, or that's certainly what I try and do. Pick myself up, and maybe even me going streaming now, I just kind of maybe I'm reaffirming things for me by saying you've got to be positive, and it's just all kind of keeps coming into you that this too shall pass. Anyway, let's get into the watch list today. Let me know if you guys want me to look at anything. 225 is still there, depending on what happens with this market. Another thing also is that there's trades that I haven't taken that I would have lost. So, i.e., there's potential of taking an aggressive entry in 225 there. I know I said I wouldn't take it, but you know there was an argument that you could have taken it and it would have lost. Again, similar with USD SEC. On this 4 hour, it looks as if it would have been a good short, but my 4 hour breakout retest on this particular candle, my stop would have been above the candle, in which case I would have been pipped out before it moves to the downside. So again, looking at the positive side of, well, I didn't take that. I could have lost an extra 4%, but I didn't. So let's see. So 225, I don't think I'll get a short play here. I don't think I'll get an aggressive entry. It's around that 40-60, probably around the 50% fib area now, looking for it to reject down. But we need a real catalyst for me, something potentially like an OBE, but rejection of that 200 with volume coming in, looking how price action looks tomorrow before I look at possibly shorting it. But I don't think that's something that I'm going to get involved in, 225. But I will have it as on the watch list as a hedge play. Kiwi Swiss, this one I do like. So I do like where this is. So we see our V reversal on the weekly. We got a nice little pullback pushing up. So our higher time frame confluence is there. We've got our outside bullish engulfer here on the daily from this latest impulse, creating that V reversal, pulling back in. Nice little pullback. Again, I know the 200's there, but we are tagging it right now, and the break will be above that, which is good. So our break will be above this area. So don't mind that. Don't mind that for confluence. Obviously, if we're thinking the SPX does move to the upside, Kiwi should be a beneficiary of that. So we've created our 4 hour V reversal on Kiwi Swiss here, taking the context from this area, looking for this to come back, digest this latest impulse, either through price or either through time via accumulation. Possibility of an aggressive entry if it does do that, or something like this, or a breakout if we do accumulate before moving to the upside. So I like that. I have to say I do like Kiwi Swiss. Probably a trade for maybe Wednesday or Thursday towards the end of the week, if I get the price action that I like, and certainly if we see indexes pushing on, I think that could be a nice trade in Kiwi Swiss. USD NOK is another one I do like. I believe we talked about this silver on Friday, right? You were looking at it, or was it USD SEC? Yeah, possibly, Martin, but well, we won't know until we see it, right? We won't know until we see it. But yeah, that fundamental bias is certainly could be correct. USD NOK, sorry. So USD NOK, I like the weekly, I like the daily. Talked about that last week. Been trying to get involved in it. Nice period of accumulation here from that V reversal. I'm taking this context. We can take it either as this larger V reversal, kind of squeeze into this area. You're looking at this as a potential head and shoulders if it does come back. Moving averages on our side. Again, it's just nice. So if I get an aggressive entry in here or a potential breakout on USD NOK, I like that as well. So I would say out of the three, 225 I probably won't take. But Kiwi Swiss and USD NOK short, obviously I like the idea of selling the dollar. As long as price action continues, That is a bias, but it doesn't matter until we actually get the setup. But USD NOK shorts also look pretty good. So it must be a relatively short stream today. It is a Monday. It is a difficult market. We have to be remembering of that. Yeah, hopefully this week I can get a trade which possibly could be a winner. Maybe a little bit more waiting around for me. But as we've seen from last year, there is always a reason why. So still in this pretty horrible period. 30% gain. I'm actually losing money after 10 months, but you know the reasons why is obviously we double the account size every scale. But yeah, a winner would be nice. A winner would be nice. Right, guys, anything you want me to look at? I won't be streaming tomorrow. I might not even be streaming on Wednesday just to get this website done, which we should have the final meeting tomorrow. We should. I know I've said that many a times, but so I might be in meetings all day the next 2 days. Aussie CAD. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Aussie CAD. But yeah, I'll let you know tomorrow. Or tomorrow I definitely can't, and I'll let you know in the Discord on Wednesday if I can stream. And obviously once we're live, I'll be streaming every day. Aussie CAD 15-minute long. Aussie CAD. Okay, I see what you're looking at. Probably here, right? Context is good. Trading time frame context is good. That would be my worry, Silver. Oop. That would be my worry. It could be, again, the weekly little inverted hammer there, albeit not on a massive amount of volume. But you have had a few weeks pullback before you push on. Daily, I mean, what do we say about the catalyst, right? If it doesn't push fawn in 5 candles, i.e., let's say inverted hammer, we're kind of getting 1, 2, 3. Usually when it's 5 candles after that catalyst and you're not getting the movement, i.e. from this, you'd expect it to move down, that candlestick or candle theoretically dictates it should. It's a nice sentence. i.e. inverted hammer should go down, then you can probably invalidate that catalyst. So yeah, you're going with trend. 15-minute is good. 4 hour decent open, but you know what I'm going to say, you know my worry, right? It's a counter trend, but you've got merit there, so I can see why you like it. This was a shame. This was all right in here. I think I was looking at Aussie CAD before, right? Didn't get that break because it wasn't quite clean enough from this area. Pushed on. Yeah, I would just worry about recent price action, but again, you know that, right? So don't mind that 15-minute time frame. If it does pushes on, I presume you're looking for a breakout retest. Yeah. You took it long. Oh, you're in it long already. 93.48. You took the break. $93.48. You're looking for a break. Oh, okay. So you're looking for a break above here. So so if your entry, I'm just trying to think about your entry. I know your strategy is slightly different, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. If you I'm not in the trade yesterday. Okay. Oh, you're not in the trade. Okay, fine. Sorry. I thought you meant you entered, you were in it at 9348. Okay. Yeah, so you're looking at this, right? I see what you're looking at. Yeah. Trading time frame is certainly good. Trading time frame is certainly good if you're getting this. Push on, breakout, retest. Trading time frame is good. Just those higher time frames, right? Just those higher time frames. Push on, you'll be above the moving averages. You probably expect, right, from a trend continuation point of view, this to probably move down, but we're not getting that. And a break above here, put a fib on it. Presuming it's not crossed the 61, yeah, it's not even up to the 50. But in terms of, irrespective of that fib, you say, well, it could go to 50 and come down. But irrespective of that, looking at price action, which I always think is better, you know, you'd expect it to kind of come down from there, right? Whereas we go on, it's more of a channel play, right? Rather than an impulse corrective move down. So yeah, I could see the bias. Yeah, I could see the bias, silver, absolutely. And again, CAD has been relatively weak, right? The Aussie will likely be a beneficiary of markets moving up. Again, depending on what's happening with China. But I could see Aussie CAD continuing to rise, yeah. Unless those higher time frames take for a potential a deeper pullback. So yeah, yeah. Anything else, guys? Any questions? Like I said, it's a bit of a shorter stream today. But if there's not much to talk about, there's not much to talk about it in terms of a technical perspective. But yeah, Kiwi Swiss I do like, I have to say. Kiwi Swiss, USD NOK. Be watching them certainly this week. Certainly this week. Alright guys, appreciate your time as always. I'll see you all in the morning. No, I won't see you tomorrow, sorry. Euro pound long. Okay, I'll do Euro pound long and then I'll head off. Or if anyone else wants to, I've got time. I don't have any plans. Euro pound 1 hour long. Euro pound long. Again, I just don't like that daily silver. I don't like that weekly. I can see what you're looking at here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say Aussie CAD is better. I would like Aussie CAD. I think there's more of a reason to enter in Aussie CAD than Euro pound. But I see what you're looking at. It just looks like a bit of a mess. Looks like a bit of a mess to me. I mean, you could look at this, I guess. Right? You could look at that. Ultimately, the primary trend. The primary trend is up. It looks like it's got some momentum, but we know what the Euro's like, right? We know the Euro likes these climactics. You know? But will it do that now? I just don't like the chart, silver, if I'm being honest with you. If you like it, then great. I just don't like it. Too many question marks for me. Euro pound. Your bias is dollar, yeah. But sometimes it's better not, you know, just not to. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Sometimes it's better to be, what's the saying? I'd rather watch it, be in it. No, I'd rather be out of it wishing I was in than in it wishing I was out. But if it fits your strategy, that's irrelevant. So yeah. My bias is dollar. Bias is dollar down for the week. Yeah, I think, well, at the moment, Martin, yeah, my bias would still be dollar short, but maybe consolidation for the next few days. USD value seems to have found a bottom. Yeah, no, so USD, if you remember USD yen, when I talked about a potential aggressive entry, which I didn't get. I didn't get an entry in here for this V reversal back in. You know, we kind of moved on. This is obviously not an aggressive. My worry about it was that we potentially have a little bit more or a few more days here, kind of correcting like we have done in the past, you know. So this, albeit we had that 20 pullback, price action for me didn't seem like I was quite ready to go short yet. So, okay, we're coming back up here. It'll be interesting to see how that daily closes in USD yen. But I just think it needed a 1 or 2 more days. Bias is ultimately still down. Bias is certainly still down for USD yen. It has to be. If we look at let's have a look at the weekly. Nothing there. There's nothing there. Like, for example, if I had a USD yen long bias, is that weekly last week gonna say, right, I want to go long on it? Probably not. Does it need a weekly pullback or a little bit, you know, price action in here before it continues? Maybe. But this daily, I mean, look at this. This daily would be the best place to start on USD yen. Let's see how that reacts. You know, because we're getting to the point where, okay, you know, digesting a little bit better. Will we continue down on this relatively nice downtrend, right? This is a relatively nice impulse corrective back to that 20. Okay, this is not as nice as potentially this and this, but will we just continue doing that? Path of least resistance. Can you clarify the difference or correlation between DXY and the USD pairs? Well, the dollar is just a basket against it's a dollar basket, right? Against the strength of the dollar against other currencies. So if the DXY is looking bullish, you'd expect dollar pairs to is that your question? Dollar pairs to move up, right? But it doesn't take, so the DXY doesn't take the exotics into the basket essentially. So you're looking against the majors. So yeah, with the dollar, the dollar index, why we analyze it in the morning is just to kind of get a good idea or a gauge of that dollar strength, because the dollar is the most voluminous traded against 6. Yeah, correct, Dash. Volume, it's the most heavily traded currency. Yeah, well, this is where the opinions come in, right? Because if you see DXY going up, indexes are most likely going down. Yeah, so that's last year, yeah, it's basically it's a minefield right now, Martin. You know, correlations that you probably are used to seeing, certainly maybe 2 years ago, aren't working that way at times now. So because of the situation we find ourselves in, yeah, we're you know, last year you see indexes down, dollar up, indexes down, dollar up, indexes down. The year before that, the kind of Trump era, you would normally expect indexes up, dollar up, indexes down, yen up. You know, those kind of risk on, risk off. The dollar was the main inflation hedge last year. Hedge against inflation, the strongest currency last year in terms of that safe haven, possible flight to cash. But then it's hard to say, Martin. It's hard to say. So recently we've had kind of a decent move up in the index and dollar coming down, possibly because of underlying inflation coming down and inflation and the dollar being seen as that inflation hedge. But there's many different, there'll be many different opinions. You know, other people have different opinions to me, and that's essentially why I like the technicals, right? So yeah. Yeah, it's a and you know what, the last couple of years have been difficult, right? So those correlations that you'd expect, the theoretical ones, as I said, are probably not moving as you would expect. But then how much do you really expect in markets? We're not perfect market. So as I said, it's maybe understanding the area we are in. So we knew with Trump, when markets are going up, dollar went up with indexes. I think the majority of the time we saw last year. If we're seeing markets down, we're expecting the dollar to be strong. Now, whether that's now in people's minds. Remember, markets are made up of people, right? So people will remember what happened last year. So your kind of recency bias, where they're like, well, market's pushing on. We saw last year the dollar to be the main safe haven. We're okay now, selling our dollars and going back into the stock market. Yeah. Last year tested the DXY against indices on almost every major time frame. Found it too dynamic to establish rule-based correlation with decent probability. Send that through, Ash. That'll be interesting to look at. Send that through. But ultimately, either way, unless I'm trading the DXY, unless I'm trading the S&P, it's all just a bias, right? It's all just a bias. Okay, this could happen, but does it really matter? Yeah, okay, it may be, from a technical side, from the dollar now, where you feel a little bit more comfortable saying dollar down. If the indexes come down as well, fine, the indexes come down. Whereas we get I'm not saying there's a correlation right now, but there has been 2 years ago and probably last year with that dollar strength. But then you could say, well, it's just a trend. So it's yeah. I just take all that out and say I'll be blissfully ignorant, and just go with what I see on the day. And in short term, the short term moving forward the next week, it could all change next week, and in the week after that, in the month after that, it could all change. Yeah. So if in terms of S&P, I like it for the short term. I could see a break above here more than I can see a break below here. In which case, the way that I was taught, if we do get a break, and certainly a break of B wave, and from what I've seen, sometimes you can get good movements out of there. In which case, you'd expect to see the Aussie, the Kiwi, be a beneficiary of that. You'd expect to see the yen to fall off. You expect to see the dollar to potentially fall off because of what the chart looks like, and then you do that. Could your bias on the DXY influence your entry on the NAS? No, no. The Nasdaq was purely down to looking at the Nasdaq in terms of weekly, daily, and what I like to see. So when I'm looking at the Nasdaq, I don't care what's happening with the dollar. Other people might, but for me, I don't care. Ultimately, I probably ended up being wrong, but I just the way that I look. So for example, with New Zealand Swiss, when I'm actually looking at New Zealand Swiss, okay, maybe it helps me slightly that I think the market looks pretty decent for short-term upside. Ultimately, that doesn't matter, because for me, looking at this daily, I'm looking at an outside bullish engulfer there. I'm looking at the V reversal on the weekly. I'm looking at a break above the 200 on the daily if we do break the area I want. I'm looking at my V reversal, which again, through statistics, etc., I like. I know we've had this latest impulse. I'm looking for the pullback accumulation, so it's healthy to move up. Don't care what's happening with anything else. Again, you probably call it blissful ignorance, but yeah, that's the way that I work. So yeah, as I said, I always look at the S&P, always look at the dollar, but how much does that have an effect? It's hard to say. Maybe I'm being a hypocrite, and I've probably said something different in the past, but I think yeah, I think that's the way that I think. But certainly with my Nasdaq trade, the DXY had no bias on it. No influence on it. And if I was I'm not looking at USD pair, right? Oh, USD NOK, right? So USD NOK, I know that I like dollar shorts, but does that, it's not part of my entry checklist, right? So again, with USD NOK, looking here, I like this from higher time frame confluence. Yes, I like the idea that I'm more confident in dollar shorts than I am S&P longs, but ultimately it comes down to that. All right, are we checking all the entry criteria that I have on my list to take this short? And if it does that, then answer is yes, irrespective of what's happening anywhere else. Did that answer a little bit? I'm not sure if that answers your question, Martin, or helps in any way, but let me know. I'm trying to articulate kind of what I think. And as I said, everybody is different. Everybody's different. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. If there's anything else, then obviously, once simplicity starts, maybe it's a good kind of workshop topic. Sometimes I guess sometimes after not streaming for a while, maybe I have difficulty articulating everything that I have in my brain to kind of say here. But anyway, if there's anything else, send me a message, or we'll do a workshop on it one day. Okay. If there's not anything else, again, appreciate you all being here, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Hopefully, back on Wednesday. If not, I'll be back on Thursday, and then after that, every single day. All right, guys, trade safe. It is a Monday, remember that, and I'll see you all later. Peace. Thanks, mate.